Hey guys, back at it. This is day 190. We are moving along here in our days in my 1 year daily diary challenge. Gonna hit for that 365 days total 1 year. And this all started with a 100-day challenge, which was prompted in a meditation session. I was really led a number of times in different meditations I was doing to just record my daily diary and post it to a very public platform. So here I am on YouTube, just posting away every day. I completed the 100 days and it was amazing. I felt a lot of growth and change and expansion happen. So personally, I just wanted to keep it going for the whole year. It's really been helpful. I've had a lot of accountability and just working on being super authentic. So obviously when I record these, I'm not divulging some personal information, particular names and places and things like that. But for the most part, I'm super real with you guys as to what's going on and how I'm kind of moving through life and all of that. So I thank you so much for being here, for being present with me, for supporting me by subscribing, for listening, for liking, for sharing, commenting, all the things. I do so much appreciate it. Let's get into day 190. So today is a Wednesday. It is a normal school day for us, and we are in North Carolina, which is on the chilly side. So getting up early, kind of warming up, getting the car warmed up for school transportation, get my daughter off to school. And typically, in the mornings, I'll help the kids, get their water bottles filled up with ice and fresh water. They have school computers, and so get those school computers off of the charger and in their backpacks. If they want any snacks or lunches, we will pack those. But for a while now, the kids have not really wanted packed lunches, and they've been really disappointed with school lunches. So we're trying to figure out the balance and where to help in that situation. And like I said, I can get on a soapbox and talk all day long about how schools don't set children up really for the real world. They set them up for industrial workforce where it's like, bathroom times are not respected, eating times are not respected. All they want you to do is, just focus on work, work, work. And even when you're not there, do more work. So it's just, to me, the school system here is very imbalanced. I don't know what it is in other countries. And if you're listening from a different country or a different place in the United States, please drop a comment and let me know what the school systems are like where you are, because I would love to hear. I mean, I see social media posts, but you don't really know sometimes what's real and what's not. But yeah, so there's an imbalance that I've been trying to help and figure out for my kids while they're in the system. So got my daughter to school and came back home, and then I got my son to school, and they've both been resisting getting to school because it's so cold. I then came home and did my vibration therapy and my sauna, hopped in the shower, got myself dressed, and went to my grandmother's house. So typically, like the other day, we went to Trader Joe's, my daughter and I, and we grabbed some chips and snacks that my grandmother really likes to get from Trader Joe's, just because she doesn't typically travel there herself. So I know if I'm there, I'll grab her stuff and bring it. And so when I got there, she was super happy that I brought her special chips, and I helped her take down her Christmas ornaments and her Christmas tree and put that all away. And then we spent a good couple of hours in her office just going through more piles of paper, organizing things. She's done a lot of work on her own, which is great and it's amazing. And then I was able to help her empty, clear, and clean some more things on top and around some of her file cabinets. We're just continuing to get rid of papers that she doesn't need so we can burn them, get rid of items that she doesn't need to take to the church or the thrift store. And she's been doing an amazing job just kind of slowly paring down things. And the goal is to get her 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house pared down to the essentials by this summer time before I leave with the kids, just so that she can have everything situated and put it on the market. And then when it's time to sell the house, have an estate sale, and sell off a lot of the bigger pieces that she's no longer keeping when she moves down to Florida. So I definitely will be coming up frequently once I am located in Florida to help her out and to just help her continue the process, especially when she moves. She'll need a lot of help. So it's not like I won't come back to North Carolina after I move, but it will just be a little bit different how that looks. So after I helped her with her whole day of just like cleaning and clearing and sitting down and taking little like tea breaks and chatting with her, I hopped in the car to go back home, and I was going to test drive a car, and I got stuck in a lot of traffic. So by the time I got to the dealership, it was dark and it was cold, and I was like already there. So I was looking around the car, and the battery was dead, so they had to jump it. And this car is not a car that I would be purchasing because it doesn't have a lot of the features I wanted, but it is the car and style and engine that I am interested in. So I did want to hop in it and give it a little drive and see the difference. Toyota comfortable is how I would describe it. It's normal Toyota driving. It's normal feel inside. All the buttons and switches and things are in the same places. This one particularly does not have the Bluetooth and the backup camera, but the one that I'm looking at does. It's a very interesting thing because a lot of the online reviews were like, it's super plasticky, which it was. And it does ride a little lower than you would think of an SUV. So that was kind of interesting. So like you're more in the position of like a normal car, like a Camry, or even my Prius rode a little bit higher, but not super low. So I'm trying to remember as I'm driving in the Tiguan, it's a little bit higher. It's more SUV ride, but this was definitely, it was a comfortable ride. Like I said, it was Toyota familiar. It was cold. It was dark. I just, rode it around up and down this, main strip. I, had enough space at certain points where I was able to just like lay on the gas, and it's a V6. So I did feel the power, and I did feel, I wasn't feeling that it was super jumpy with the transmission, which was nice, which I've been feeling with the Tiguan. It does have a little bit of jump when you switch gears. And I'm just trying to think of any other comparisons, but I was just trying to compare that car and how it actually drives to what I'm driving now. And the pulling point for me, especially because like it feels like it's not as cushy as the Tiguan. The swaying point or pulling point for me is that the towing capacity is 3,500 on the 6. And with the Tiguan and with even the other ones I was looking, the Corolla Cross and the RAV4, they're really low on their tow capacity. So my thing is, I really, in the future, want to get a little camper and to be able to travel around and do camping and do kind of like tiny living. So for me, the Venza, the Toyota Venza, has that capacity of 3,500 versus the other ones, which are like 1,500 to 2,000. And that would not really get me very much to tow. So for me, I have to weigh all my options, especially because it's really limited supply. I can't find these Venzas, especially the ones that I want, with the trim level and everything, very easily. So I'm just going to continue to compare and kind of sort it out and then release it. And, whatever car is meant for me will be here available for me. And I have to do my homework, yes, because I'm not just going to jump into something blind because it's right in front of me available. I am going to follow my excitement and see which thing excites me. Does it excite me more to have like a super cushy, like high class trim car that I'm not familiar with the engine or the maintenance, or go with, my tried and true Toyota, which I'm used to, and I know what the maintenance looks like, and it has a bigger tow capacity, but not all the same trim level. So it's just me comparing, seeing what excites me the most and where I'm going to move forward. But I'm not going to linger and hang out on this subject too long. I'm just going to do my little comparisons, think about it, meditate on it, and release it. So that I'm not holding on to any unneeded stress. But then I got home from doing that and hung out for a little bit. The kids got home. Their dad dropped them off. My son and I had a really good talk and chat about his feelings on his dad and the PlayStation 5 situation. And then I hung out with my daughter a little bit, and I was watching a movie when they came home. So I watched the movie with her for the rest of it. And once it finished, then I was looking around to see what else was there. And I noticed that one of the animes that we used to watch had a new season. And I got so excited, and she was so funny. She's like, "You're like a kid, like you're like a toddler, because you're so excited like this." But anyway, so we watched the new episode of that, and it's going to be like releasing one episode at a time. So that's something exciting that we can get back into, a show that we watched before. And then, it was late and we all wrapped it up. We got snuggly in our beds because it's cold, and everybody went to sleep, and I did my nighttime meditation and affirmations, which, like I said, I have been falling so hard asleep when I've been in the middle of them. And I've been sleeping really well. So I don't know if it's the cold or if it's just after this 3-day fasting that I did. But it's been really nice to just fall so deeply asleep so quickly. And some fun things coming up over the next couple of weeks. And this weekend is a kid-free weekend for me, so I will be getting into trouble or not, I don't know. And really, my trouble is not trouble at all. So I'll be figuring out my plans for this weekend. I've connected with 2 different guys through the dating app, and one I had connected with in Florida before I left. I think it was like the day before I left, and so there was no real time to connect in person and go out on a date, but we've been connecting via message, and he does a lot of travel for work, so he's going to be in Massachusetts for a while. And so, it's kind of like we both understand situations, and we're just continuing the chat, and we're going to hop on a call and maybe like a FaceTime to see how that goes. And then I connected with somebody local here to North Carolina. And that has been more recent, just since I got back. Because I think Hinge has a location setting. So it switched me from Florida to North Carolina again. And it's been a really cute interaction. And yeah, so I've enjoyed these interactions and getting to know these guys better and just sticking to my boundaries because I was saying to one of them about, my hard passes, my big, deal breakers are smoking and excessive drinking. It's like, I don't mind if somebody enjoys a glass of wine every once in a while, or, they want to have like a beer with their pizza, but it's this excessiveness of drinking that is a deal breaker for me now that I've realized that I don't prefer that. And that is a habit that some people have. So it's really those two big things are for me just a deal breaker. Like, I'm not going to interact with somebody or engage in a relationship with someone who does a lot of smoking or vaping because it's not a habit that I like. I don't like to be around it. If it's a friend, if it's, I did it before. So it's not like I'm looking down, disapproving, but it's just something that I don't prefer. And now that I know that, I can say, hey, these are my deal breakers. I understand, if this is not going to work out because of those things. I personally am still not drinking, and I have decided, not to do any kind of smoking. It's not beneficial for me. It doesn't make me feel good. It's just something that I don't like. I don't even like being around people like in the same area. I have a hard time being in an area where there's somebody smoking, doing a hookah, cigar, even some vapes really bother me. So it's just personal preference. And as I've gone through, my dating experience, I've learned more and more about who I am and what I like and what I don't like. And really just being strong in my boundaries and being strong in what I feel. I like to be flirty and sexy and fun, but I don't think that engaging with somebody who's going to immediately want you to send them pictures or start talking about being intimate before you've even met them in person is like, to me, that's a little bit of a red flag. Like, hey, maybe they just want to hook up. Maybe this is just, the beginnings of a situationship or whatever. So I try to be very, very thoughtful about the way that I word things. And I like to flirt and I like to be fun and I like to be sexy. But I think that there's things that are reserved for a relationship after the first couple of dates, or once you decide, hey, this is my person, I'm going to be intimate with them and just like nobody else. So as I've been dating and as I've been learning myself and being more authentic, I've been learning more of my preferences and really holding fast, like I said, to my boundaries, being authentic. If you like me, great. If you don't like me, you don't have to change who you are. I don't have to change who I am to make somebody like me, all those things. I just want to be completely in my authentic space and have somebody else, my partner, be in their authentic space. And, it'll happen, and it's good to get out there and talk to people and connect and get to know more things about yourself through that. And it's okay. Like, I had a date down in Florida and we had a really great time. We had a really great conversation, and we both walked away knowing that we didn't vibe in a romantic way, but we vibed in a way of more friendship. And so we had that discussion of, hey, I'm not vibing in the romantic way. Can we still be in contact as friends? It's like, absolutely. I feel the same way. So it's great to put yourself out there and go on dates, even if you don't feel 100% ready. If you have anxiety or you have like big things that you're not ready, don't do that. Don't push yourself past the anxiety. Work through that a little bit more. Go on group dates. Go to networking events or different things that have more people that you won't feel as anxious with a one-on-one. But going out and interacting and being in a space with somebody else helps you learn about yourself, and it helps you learn about the thing that we're losing in the society now is connection with other people. And how it was before all this technology, it was all that. We were always connecting with people. We were always going out. It's like going out to Blockbuster to rent movies, going to the grocery store like all the time. We were getting on the phone and talking to people a lot more because there was no text messaging. We were writing letters. We were going to visit people in person. Like we'd just drop in and say like, hey, I was in the neighborhood. I wanted to see what you were doing, and just connect for a little bit. You'd sit and you'd have like coffee or tea with somebody for a minute and just chat about things. There was so much communication and connection that happened prior to all this technology, and we've lost a lot of it. So you have grace with yourself that you're relearning something, how to engage and how to connect with people, how to communicate, how to be social, whatever. If you're on the apps and you're not dating in person, like IRL meetings, which I try to do both. I try to go out and do things in person that I'm going to meet people and just connect with. But yeah, the apps help. They open your pool a little bit more. And just have grace with yourself and don't think that you can't be out there unless you're fully healed. You heal through connection. You heal through failing. And failing is a very harsh word, but it's still when you don't accomplish what you want to accomplish or you're not in a place you feel ready, is putting yourself out there. It makes it a lot harder. And when something doesn't happen the way that you thought it was, it feels like a failure, but it's not. It's actually you learning and growing. And yeah, my encouragement is if you don't feel ready, just try. Just put yourself out there. And if you freak out and if you don't think it's good, pull back. It's okay. But be honest, be open. Because I've had, people I've engaged with and I felt like it was really a fake connection. And I said, hey, I feel like this is not authentic. My vibe is off with this a little bit. I'd really like to connect via text or via phone or via FaceTime just to kind of gauge the interest. And if the person completely pulls away, then you know that it was fake. I also have said, when guys have asked send me a picture, and they start talking about being intimate, and I say, well, we're just, getting to know each other. We're engaging for the first time. I personally reserve those kind of conversations and those kind of pictures for people that I am exclusive with. And, that's my boundary. And so if they bring it up or if they talk about it again, then I do like a 3 strikes kind of thing. And then I know if this is somebody who's not really interested in having a relationship and they're just interested in hookup culture or situationship kind of thing, then I know. But it's all about being aware being aware of yourself and being aware of the situation. But you can't get to that point unless you put yourself out there. So I really, really, really have gone overtime because I got on a little soapbox there. But anyway, so yeah. I am excited because we might have snow this weekend, so yay for that. But I will wrap it up here because we are way over time. And I love you guys, and I thank you so much for hanging out with me, for supporting me, for listening in, for just being present with me in this thing we call life. I do appreciate it. I love you guys so much. Subscribe, comment, like, share, all the things. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.